Welcome to the lake. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, I'm here today with Cameron, and let's just have a discussion, and let's let this go and flow where it will. Ask me any questions that you want to, and we'll use this as a learning experience for other people as we go through. So
sounds good.
Welcome. It's kind of a fun place to come up to.
Absolutely.
And it gives that feeling that we need when we're doing, just having a good time up here. And so let's start out with saying, give me a little background of yourself.
So about to turn 32. About 10 years ago, joined the military, enlisted, and started working through learning the government processes. Met Clint, your son.
Yeah.
So we separated from the military and moved into the contractor side, working on program management of the weapon systems, and started getting involved in investments, primarily securities, buying on the stock exchange. And I feel that's great for retirement planning, but I'm looking to get into something a little bit more active, a little bit more lucrative, something that can generate additional income streams and replace the dependency for traditional W-2 employment. That's when I started looking at getting involved in real estate, primarily on like buying rental properties, and quickly discovered that I don't really want to be a landlord.
Well, yeah, okay, so that's interesting. There's a couple of things I was just going to, let's go in a little depth. So you start your career in the military, and then your post-military career, you're in the field where you're working with systems. And so in this time, you're starting to invest, and you're 31?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So now you've had this period of time. Congratulations, really, by the way, because most people aren't able to be where you're at right now. It's fantastic. You've worked to get there, so you own that.
Yes.
That's perfect. We're going to talk about some things today that many people may recognize in themselves. And you said that you started to invest in securities. You mean you were buying and selling stocks and things of that nature?
Correct.
But just kind of tell me, give me an example why were you thinking stocks were the way to go?
Primarily because I was really only what I knew about. I knew it was
easy access.
So easy access, low barrier to entry. You just create an account with E-Trade or I use Merrill Edge, and you put money into the account, whether that's your IRA or Roth IRA or brokerage account, and you go in and buy X amount of shares with whatever money you have, and it's simple. You can do self-directed, or you can have an advisor help you out. You don't need to do any networking. You don't need to know anybody in the field. It's just, if you have money, you can buy securities,
right?
And kind of set it and forget it. And like I said, that I think works great for retirement accounts, but that doesn't give me instant access to the money.
Sure.
Can't touch that to a 59 and a
right.
half.
What did you have someone that mentored you in that? Did you see that before in your just personal life? Did you know of people that were buying stock, and how did you feel that you would be able to choose in the worldwide of stock, the whole world of stock? How did you think that you could pick what would be good or bad or whatever?
So I fortunately started learning I think earlier than most. So when my grandma passed, she gave a little bit of an inheritance, which was all stock exchange or securities.
Okay.
From the time that I inherited it when I was 10 years old or something, till the time that I gained control of it at 22, I saw how greatly it grew.
Okay.
So just seeing that gave me a little bit of insight onto what the power of compounding interest and having investments can do for your money. And all the investments were in mutual funds or ETFs, exchange traded funds. So I didn't dive down the path of picking individual stocks. And I was more, I think, self-educated. So I didn't have a mentor or anything. I was reading all the books, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the One Up on Wall Street, sort of just like self-education, and quickly learned that buying individual stocks is a rare rare trade. Most people can't beat the market, and I think the studies were showing that 96% of actively managed funds don't beat the index funds. Mm-hmm. So after seeing the hard reports on that, I took the advice and didn't try to buy individual funds or individual stocks. So I primarily just invest in ETFs, index funds, mm-hmm. just to stay on par with the market.
Yeah. It's kind of strange right now because index funds are what they're considering to be the next bubble. Have you heard that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think a reason that can happen is because people just like yourself and like millions of others, they don't take the time to individually pick, because you know how much information that is. It's everywhere. So they'll say, okay, this is a better source. They do better. I can't beat that amount, so therefore I'll put my money into that. But it gets stuffed full of kind of the fat, and that looks like it might be the next real bubble because it's growing by trillions. And, but it could also do really well, like you said. What type of time frame? It was your grandmother, you said?
Yes.
What type of time frame did she invest in?
I want to say early 70s until about 2000 when she passed.
Okay, so it's 30 years worth of time value growth. Well, I'm gonna mention this just for any viewers we might have. You were gonna come here this weekend, and we were gonna have a class, and we're gonna talk about real estate notes and different areas of real estate. I want to take this time because it's just you and I here, and that's how I want this to come across. I want to take this time so that we can dive into and really look at some of this.